Yes, it's good. Hey, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. That didn't flip very well. Let me do that again. That's a little better. But I did want to just not really unbox, but kind of unbox. This right here is like great packaging and presentation for a new product and even an old product, because a lot of people like this might be their first whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're getting an Air Jordan 14, that might be your very first Air Jordan 14. So like if they were to package things similarly to this, doesn't have to be identical, but similarly, I think it would be really great. I did already open up one side, so this part's all messy and stuff, but they looked really perfect, just like that. So this is how they come in there, but this right here is what I'm talking about. So it was wrapped in this little guy right there, but when you unwrap it, it teaches you everything you need to know about this version of the Air Jordan 1. It was designed in Beaverton, Oregon, re-engineered for ultimate comfort. There's a Zoom Air unit right in the heel. The collar is made of 2 free-floating foam panels for a more relaxed fit, and we're gonna get into that a little bit. It reminds me a lot of the off-white stuff. And then right here, it even goes further, and it shows you where there are additional new foam pads inside the shoe, both in the tongue and the collar heel. This is cool, because this is a shoe that I was like, why am I buying this? This is why. But yeah, and then underneath there, it's almost like the original, the little card that they used to come with, the little booklet, where you would open it up and it'd have like a blown up breakdown that used to teach you about the shoe. They talk about everything. They talk about the liner, where the Zoom Air is, the foam, and the rubber cup sole and stuff, man, and they break it all down. So I think that this is fantastic. This is what I've been talking about for how long?
Ever.
It's finally here, man. It's awesome. Now, is it perfect? No, but I mean, we're getting there. All right, so the Air Jordan 1 Zoom Air Comfort is a pretty cool shoe, man, I gotta say. Like for a new version of the Air Jordan 1, it's not exactly everything that I'd want, but it's very close. The complaints that I have are very minimal, more like a nitpick. It's like what I wish they would have done instead of what they did do, but there's always room to do that because it's mostly just a colorway thing. But initially I thought that this was gonna be like the, what were the other ones called? The all reflective ones?
Oh, the Zoom.
Is that all they were? They were just the Jordan 1 High Zoom?
I think so.
Okay, so that one had the Zoom Strobel. So I thought that that's what this was. It's not. It's completely different. I don't know which one I like more as far as tech implementation, because I like the way that these sound. It's a give or take thing. If anything, this blends the original style of the Air Jordan 1 more like a Protro. I'm not saying that you could hoop in these or anything. I'm just saying that like what they did to these feels like they just kind of took what they used to do and updated it to modern times instead of literally putting in modern tech, even though it's a little bit of both. But look at that outsole, man. I thought that this right here was a representation of the tech inside the shoe. While it is, it was not the tech that I thought. I thought that this was full-length Zoom. I thought that they were the Jordan 1 Zooms, but they're not. It's a totally different shoe. So what you're actually seeing here is foam. This is foam. It's like a Nike SB. This is cool, man. It's super cool. Will this play like the Curry 8s? I don't know. That's a specific type of foam. All I know is that this is foam. This is EVA or Phylon, according to Nike, because Nike calls their EVA Phylon. And yeah, man, this is dope, man. Like this is so cool. They used to have just the cup sole with an EVA wedge that would end to right about here, and then inside that wedge would be a air sole unit. You couldn't feel really anything, you know what I mean? Because it's inside a cup sole, it's housed. This is a cup sole hollowed out, literally, just straight up chunks removed from it. And then they filled that hole up with foam. And then instead of the air sole unit, they put a Zoom Air unit back there. These are cool. Now, for those of you guys wondering what this weird multicolored tread is, that's actual rubber, and that's recycled rubber. So I do like that as well, because it's kind of like, you know, the space hippie thing, and they're trying to be a little bit more environmentally friendly with all the waste that the brand itself puts out. Now, these guys were individually wrapped due to the upper. These are actually suede, and they're red suede on top of that, so they could bleed or die onto the white midsole and all of that stuff. I love the way that these are, because I think I said this earlier, but it reminds me of a Nike SB, where the little flaps down here, like a dunk, but a dunk would be up here. But these little flaps right here are independent, almost like the Off-White. The Off-White was like that too. A lot of inspiration for both SB and Off-White. So anyways, this forefoot area is typically sewn onto the upper. It's actually not this time around. So if you wanted to, you can have a little bit of a different flavor where you can do your laces under it. The eye stay collar, which right here is a little bit like curled up, but that's also independent too. Coincidentally, that's that type of look that we've got on like the N-Dub 1 and stuff. A lot of people say that they didn't like it, but they love it when they do it on Jordans and stuff. You know what I mean? So I don't don't know what the deal is. Do you like it? Do you not like it? I don't know. It's just a matter of whether or not there's a swoosh. I think so. The tongue itself is interesting. It's got that union look. I mean, they really pick and pulled for these guys, man. And yeah, so you got nylon, suede, stitched at the midfoot area, and then they say Zoom Air on there instead of Nike Air because obviously they're Zoom Air and not Nike Air, even though Zoom Air is Nike Air. I do wish that the full tongue was nylon. I think that that would have been really cool because this guy right here reminds me of like the Blazer Vintage where they like cut it. Just, oh man, it's so dope. The interior right here is actually cut and trim and it's very similar to what these guys did right there. You know, Seth Fowler's shoe. And again, a lot of people trash this, but they love it when they do it. And you can actually see where the padding is on these guys, so the perforated sections. That's the extra padding. Same thing when you go inside, all that extra padding right there at the Achilles. So it's like the Air Jordan 1 now has Achilles notches. There is no traditional swoosh though. Underneath here is a little thin layer of what feels like neoprene, even though it's not. It's like a silky material or whatever. Got a little bit of foam lining. They just kind of cut the swoosh out of the upper material and let the swoosh go from underneath and everything. It's almost got that satin look. But yeah, man, these are really cool, man. I really think that this is a dope new rendition of the Air Jordan 1. My main critique, my main wish, my main want. I want this in real colorways, real historic Jordan brand heritage colorways. You can flip them up a little bit. And I know that like some people at the brand will instantly like stop me and be like, yo, we don't want to diminish the brand's heritage by putting on. This is always like their number one go-to is like, oh yeah, we don't want to do that because we don't want to dilute the thing. But it's like, bro, but you're doing it with the Jordan 1 mids. You're just flipping a color on a panel. So it's like, why don't you do it here? This is the stuff that people have been wanting. They want to buy it. They want to support it, but they want it the way that they wanted it back in the day, which is with colorways that are really tied to the brand, tied to the lineage, and tied to their memories. MJ didn't have to wear this very specific shoe. It just has to look like the one that he wore and feel better than it. That's all. So why they don't do that, I don't know. Will they do that? I hope so. I hope that this is not like a couple of model things and then done, like that Jordan 1 Zoom. You know, like, did they even come out with more of those? They had like 3 of them, right? So again, that's my only real critique of the shoe, and that critique or that opinion could be invalid in a few months or whatever when they put out more colorways. Hopefully they do. If those colorways end up being OG themed colorways, they don't have to look identical. They just have to look similar. That's all. I just want something similar. I want a Chicago looking, I want a black and red looking, a black and royal looking, something that is OG looking with all of this comfort. That's all I want. It's not too much to ask. Now, as far as their sizing is concerned, they do fit true to size and they do feel more comfortable than an Air Jordan 1. Do they feel extremely comfortable? That's a no. But it could just be because I'm just standing around. Once you start breaking them in and really exercising that foam, like stretching it, you know what I'm saying, with more flex and things like that, the more that you walk around, I'm sure that it'll get more comfortable. I'm just saying that right from the jump, if you put them on, you're like, I'm gonna be blown away. You're not gonna have that experience, but over time, you should have like a better experience than like a normal cup-soled Air Jordan 1, which I also find very comfortable. I think it's a super neutral shoe. A lot of people don't like those, but I think that they're mad comfortable.
I feel like you're trolling everybody.
Why? What am I doing now?
Whenever you do like a black shoe, your colorway that you wear normally is black, and everybody's like, I can't see the shoe, man. You gotta wear a different color. And then we did the Harden video, and in the Harden video, you used a Kobe midsole,
yeah.
And it's teal, and you happened to wear a pop of color that day, and you were wearing the exact same teal. And then today we go to film, and I was like, oh, you're wearing red. You look good. And then you pull the shoes out of the box, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Look, man, I have so much B-roll where you can see every fucking detail.
I know.
And I do that so that you get the best view. You know, like this little cute fucking Zoom Air tab under there that you would never see unless I gave you this awesome shot of B-roll right now.
Oh.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like relax, dude. Like, why are you complaining just to complain?
Speaking of complaints.
They're not even the same color red.
I don't know.
It might look, the camera might make it a little bit more vibrant.
This is like a rich red. This
like
is a bright red.
Yeah, like it's like a varsity red. Actually, it might be varsity red. It's gym red, so it's a little darker.
So speaking of complaints,
You've got one.
I now have 2 pairs of mids. Chris got me some really great maroon ones for Christmas, and I want to wear them because they're beautiful. I'm scared to wear them because my other mid tops hurt me every time. And so I would like to know if, because these are a high, right?
Yeah, mid tops feel great to me.
So I would like to know if all of that padding and whatnot, I don't know, this still feels like it might hurt you. Not you, because you don't seem to have a problem with ones, but other people have to be in my boat with me.
I've had enough shoes make me bleed my own blood.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
Or if this is the one that doesn't, just let me have it.
You're gonna see it if it does. It's gonna pop up inside that foam.
It'll go away. It's all good. Like, I've had so many shoes just rip my apart, man. Inside, outside, arches, top of the foot, side of the foot, pinky toe,
I've had
ankle.
shoes that are tried and true that I love to death, all of a sudden decide that they hate me that day.
Yeah.
Like my Adidas.
It could depend on like the sock that you wear that day. Like if they're a little too thin, it makes your shoe just that much more roomy, or if they're too thick, a little too, and then you get the rubbing on your pinky toe or whatever. Like especially if your socks suck and they have that internal toe stitch.
That gets caught between your toenail.
Why do you gotta say that? That just like gave me shivers. So that pretty much takes care of it for these guys. Again, this is the Air Jordan 1 Zoom Air Comfort. I think that the changes that they've made are fantastic. 2 thumbs up, actually maybe 1.5, because again, the colorway thing, but that could also be resolved if they drop an OG color. So thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support, and until next time, guys, have a good one.